Something that I've always thought about is religion. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus. But of course, I've got an open mind, so that could change. However, I feel like religion is more following suit, doing what your grandma did, following what your mum does. So I'm going to take time out in this episode to educate myself and broaden my knowledge. I'd like to take you on this journey. Hello guys, we're just with Yui from the church, who's the pastor. I'd like to ask you some questions on camera. Number one being, have you fully read the Bible?
Thanks, Joel, for the privilege to try to address some of these questions. As I said to you before, that's a very good question, because many times people look at the Bible as a book, but actually the Bible is a library. So you don't generally go in a library and then read all the books in the library. You tend to try to be more selective in what it is that you read. For instance, there are 66 books in this library. 39 in the old part, 27 in the new part. You got history. You got law. You got poetry. You got prophecy and letters. So it's really a case of where exactly shall I start? And that's why many times within the context of the church, we try to have, when you go to university, they call it like orienteering. Okay. But in the case of the church, we normally have like an introduction to the scriptures, so that people then can say, okay, fine, it's probably easier for us to start here. So I personally have read through, but in terms of studying, that's a different subject completely.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Do you have an idol in life? Like, do you believe, like, do you look up to somebody that isn't God or Jesus? Do you, like, does anybody have an influence on you that makes you strive forward, motivates you? If not, would you say it's wrong to have an idol?
I used to be involved in like a mentoring project. And there are many positive, what they call positive role models. And I think we do need positive role models, whether it be in the sporting arena, whether it be in the academic arena, even within the arena of Christianity. To be a positive role model, especially for young people, you know, it is very, very important, because sometimes young people, the whole God business is a little bit complicated. The whole religion business is just this pie in the sky. But if they can engage with someone who is real, down to earth, which can make this thing a little bit more closer to home, then that's all good. My grandmother was my role model. I mentioned to you that I grew up in a Christian setting, but my grandmother has never yet said to me, you need to be a Christian. You need to go to church. You need to do. In fact, my grandmother used to tell the people who used to trouble me when I was little, because I was a mischievous little boy, used to say, leave him alone. It's possible that one day the boy might come good. So she actually believed in me. And I think it's important in this day and age that we now have people around us, whoever they are, that actually believe in us, genuinely mean us well, and wanted to bring the best out of us. That's how I look at it.
There's a filmmaker called Casey Neistat. He's from America. And he did, like, basically, I'm not sure what company, but they asked him to make like an advertisement on your dream, like making it happen, not making it happen. I can't remember the full concept, but what he did was, he said, here's my idea, give him the plan, give me all the budget, and I'll go and do it. He went to the Philippines. He went to the Philippines when it was all, you know, all wrapped up. Spent about £500,000 on food. It made countless thousands of he called them food bags, giving them out everywhere. And that's why he's my idol in life. But the second commandment is, you shall not make idols, isn't it? So do you believe the 10 commandments to this day? Because I was asking my mum about this, and she's a Catholic, and she says they're a bit outdated. But how can a Catholic say this? I thought this is the 10 commandments that you live your life by.
So there are a couple of questions, Joel, that you asked there. Okay, so the first thing, the 10 commandments. Okay, how can someone who knows everything tell you something that's out of date?
Exactly.
So what we have to understand when we're dealing with God, if we were to live for centuries, we would still not discover a fraction of what God knows. So actually the 10 Commandments are the rules that governs our very society here in the UK. Okay, we may be a little bit selective in the ones that we want to adhere to. So if you go into the courts, apparently you tell a lie, I think they call it the perjury. And that's thou shalt not bear false witness. Then you know, if you kill somebody, murder. So it is the pillar on which our society
and laws based off. I can see that. I can see
now
that.
This idol business. Now, what we have to understand, and I do understand what your mum is saying. In old days, an idol was actually like a calf or some physical object that there's a story about Moses in the scriptures where when he went up to the mountain to get these commandments, that the guys made a golden calf, and so many times these were physical. But nowadays an idol can be a little bit more subtle. So to define an idol as we understand it, is the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind and strength. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So an idol is anything or anyone that you devote yourself to above God.
I don't believe in God, I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in belief, faith, but I believe in self-belief, and I believe in faith in myself. I believe the universe has got like a creative, you know what I'm saying, what you see as God. I believe it's got that, something above human. Do you know what I mean? Something, as we see, supernatural. In a sense of, if you believe something that much, 100%, and you have not got one doubt in your mind that is wrong, and you believe and you visualize every single day, every moment of every day. So say you want to become, I don't know, an astronaut, that's your life ambition, and you visualize yourself as an astronaut every single day, doesn't matter where you're working, don't forget that dream, visualize your dream every single day. The universe has got like a sixth sense of making that happen, and that's called the law of attraction. That's the sort of thing that I was going towards. I didn't believe in God and Jesus in a sense of God made the world in 7 days, because it's scientifically proven that it took hundreds of thousands of years for the Big Bang to happen, and I believe in evolution as well. We've evolved. But then there's another sense on evolution. It took thousands of years for our back posture to go from this to this to this to this to this to a straight back. For hundreds of thousands of years it took. Quote me if I'm wrong, I don't know what properly how long it took, but it took a long time, and it took hundreds of years for us to have human intelligence. How would that happen? So I feel like there was a boost in the evolution, which could have been ancient aliens, could have been, there's thousands and millions different of possibilities, and when you say ancient aliens, people look at you and laugh, but there's the same proof of them than there is of God. People look at you like you're insane, like you need to go to a mental hospital. I'm not wrong there, they won't like that. You say aliens are real, people are going to look at you, ring harpoons. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you are mental, you understand me? But the same amount of proof in that is the same amount of proof of God. Do you understand
I think the only thing I can say, Joel, says a Bible name, by the way.
Yeah. I've got 3 other siblings, and every single name has come from the Bible: Joel, Levi, Sam and Corinne.
What you've just expressed is what we have been discussing today with yourself and your audience. You can believe whatever it is you want to believe. You can come at it from whatever angle that you want to come at it. That doesn't disorientate God.
Yeah, of course.
Now, what we have to understand, that is because we have freedom of choice. You are exercising your freedom of choice to believe what it is that you believe you should believe. I think if there's one B that I have in my bonnet as I finish, is many times within the context of the media, the media at times try to impose certain values, certain beliefs on the wider masses and tends to demonizes those who have strong, firm belief. Okay, I keep saying to individuals, I may not share another person's view on whatever the subject matter that they have, but we have to respect that we have exercised our freedom to choose. Now, I find that as a Christian, when I try to articulate my views, people then becomes very judgmental.
So, I understand
because
that.
they assume that because I have a strong view based on what I believe is the word, then they immediately say, you can't say that. Well, you've just said what you've just said. Another man has just said what another man said. Another man has just said what another man has said. So why on earth am I not given the same privilege to express my view, even if you think I'm totally bonkers? Now that's the problem I have with the wider society, because many times they're trying to silence any conflicting views and try to stereotype people in a particular view. Okay, fine. If people believe that the world took millions of years and we came from a hay, which is an insult to me personally, but came from a hay, and now we're crawling, and that's entirely up to me. I don't share that. If people believe that, whatever they believe, I don't share that. It doesn't, because at the end of the day, as Christians, I don't know enough information about many of these things
to share,
to make an informed opinion, but I do know somebody who does. And I tend to use that manual as my point of reference, because as clever as all of these guys are, they're not as clever as they think they are. And just for your information, as I understand it, if you research Darwin, Darwin died as a Christian. And that very theory was questioned of relativity, or whatever they call it, because DNA wasn't around at that time. Okay, so what I'm now trying to say to many of the things that people will hold dear as truth and solid truth, if they go and revisit it, they might be pleasantly or unpleasantly or uncomfortably surprised that this is not what they believe.